Hi everyone, Jai Hind and welcome to the platform of StudyIQ IAS in English. My name is Bhavar Singh Surya, MXND 115th course, and I welcome you on the platform. Now, in this video, we'll be talking about how the election symbols they are allotted in India, and that is what the main or the major core issue that will be going ahead and will be deciphering through this complete video session. All right, now in this context, let me tell you that there had been the rise of the satirical youth movements. Like, for example, the rise of the CJP or the Cockroach Janta Party had been there. Now, when it comes to the recent emergence of these satirical movement that we are seeing in the country that have highlighted the youth issues, had ultimately also raised the concerns about or the curious legal questions in the political landscape. Now, over here, the main or the central question here is that can a political party legally choose an insect or animal as their official election symbol? All right. So again, when it comes to the party convener, he has said that he has no, the wishes to join the political movement. But at the same time, if the party wants to get registered, so can it get the cockroach as its election symbol or the insect as the election symbol can be awarded? Now, there is Article 324 that lays down Election Commission of India, and ultimately in India, it is the sole authority that superintends as well as control and direct the elections that are conducted in India. So it acts as the ultimate constitutional reservoir of the authority, and the election symbols are also awarded by the Election Commission of India. Now, there are Elections Rules 1961 where we have Rule 5 and Rule 10 that empower the Election Commission of India to specify and allot the choice of the symbols for the parliamentary as well as assembly constituencies, setting the ground rules for the implementation or for providing the symbols or election symbols. Now, there is also Symbol Order of 1968. This is Election Symbols Reservation and Allotment Order 1968, and this is the comprehensive code that governs the reservation, that governs the choice as well as allotment, and even the disputes when it arises between the political parties. Now, when it comes to the reserved as well as free symbols are there. Now, there are the reserved symbols, like, for example, you must have seen that there is Lotus, that is for BJP or Bharatiya Janta Party, or the hand that had been allotted to the Congress. So there are exclusive symbols which are allotted to the recognized national as well as state parties. And these are the reserved symbols. No other candidate, they can lay claim on the reserved symbols. Now, there are free symbols as well, where it comprises of the common pool of non-exclusive symbols. That there are nearly about 184 items which are there that had been curated by the ECI or the Election Commission of India for the unrecognized political parties which had been registered, and even for the independent candidates as well. Now, what is the purpose of giving these election symbols? The purpose is simple, that it actually is, it is used by the illiterate people to actually know about their candidates which are there. So it helps the illiterate voters easily to identify the candidates, and also it assures the party and the simplicity at the ballot box that is there, and that is the need for giving the election symbols that is provided. Now, what had happened about the animal symbols? So it was, there was the split in the Tamil Nadu, and in 1989, what had happened was that there were two factions, and it was Jayalalitha's faction of the AIADMK that was allotted the rooster as the symbol or the election symbol. Now, what had happened was the activists, they have reported that there were extreme cruelty as the live birds, they were tied to the fast-moving campaign vehicles, which has led to the injuries and of the rooster as well. Now, over here, what had happened was that animal rights activist and crusader Menka Gandhi, she intervened, and due to the animal abuse concern, over here, the Election Commission of India, it had banned the animals and even the birds as a symbol in 1990s. The BSP's elephant, it remains a rare grandfathered exception because it was allotted earlier, and only this is the exception when it comes to the animal symbols which had been allotted or which can be allotted by the Election Commission of India. So that means if there is any concern or a party wants another ticket or the symbol for the political party, can it be provided? So yes, it could be provided. There is a preference that has to be submitted where the registered unrecognized parties, they can select the 10 of the free symbols from the Election Commission of India notified list of the daily items that is there. We have TV, AC, remote in the order of the preference, that what is the preference for its allotment. Then it can propose the design, and there are the proposal of 3 custom new symbols. Over here, this is very important that these conditions must be met. That is, there should be no resemblance to the existing symbols, no religious or communal favor can be done, and also strictly no animal depictions. All right, and also there is one-time concession that is allowed if the party contests for at least 10% of the total assembly or the parliamentary seats in a state. So that ensures that the complete party, it is provided, or the candidates are provided a single and unified, the symbol, that is the election symbol that is there. So over here, symbols are allotted to the unrecognized parties only for the specific elections based upon their formation, performance, as well as the preference that had been provided by the political parties which are unrecognized. Now you can see that there had been surge in the political parties which are unrecognized. In 1999, there were approximately 650 parties, which have increased to 1,150 parties in 2009. In 2019, there were nearly about 2,300 parties, and now we have more than 2,600 parties which are there, and this is an administrative challenge because ultimately the Election Commission of India, it has to provide the election symbol if the political party is contesting, and ultimately the geometric rise in the registered unrecognized parties places immense burden on the Election Commission of India to manage, to update, and even to allocate the election symbols to these parties. Now over here you can see that there are 2 different ways to compare. We have the election parties which are basically the political parties which are recognized, and then there are unrecognized political parties. So over here the symbol is fully reserved for the recognized party, and they have the exclusive usage rights when it comes to the defined territorial remit, depending upon whether it is the state party or it is the national party. Also, there is no permanent claim when it comes to the unrecognized party, and they are drawn from the free symbol list. And again, over here, there is no insect or the animal that is included in this list. Also, when it comes to the split arbitration, so Election Commission of India hears and decides the split under the paragraph or the para 15 of 1968 order. And when it comes to the warring faction of the unrecognized parties, so over here, they are asked to approach the civil courts or to, internally arbitrate the complete dispute. That is what Election Commission directs. Now, when it comes to the common symbol, so there is the common symbol that is given to the national parties and the state parties. The national parties, they can use the common symbol across India, but the state parties, they can use the common symbol only within the state. Also, when it comes to the registered unrecognized parties, so they can be granted the common symbol. But at the same time, it is very important that it is available only if the political party is contesting at a minimum of the 10% of the total seats, whether it is parliamentary or the state assembly seats. And also, the primary electoral advantage is that when it comes to the symbol or the common symbol, it builds up the visual brand equity of the political party, and also there is the memory that stays with the electors as well. All right. At the same time, when it comes to the registered and recognized parties, because they do not have the common symbol or they do not have the symbol that is given to their parties, so there is the volatility that they faces, and there is the candidates which risk having the different symbols even in the same elections as well. Now over here, what had happened was that when the party splits, so what happens to the election symbol? So there is Sadiq Ali formula that was devised in 1972 by the Supreme Court, and it says that whenever there is a split, so the Election Commission will apply these 3 test formula that is there. That is the test of the party constitution, whether the party constitution have changed or not, the test of the aims and objectives, and even the test of majority, where it checks the majority of the MLAs and the MPs in the legislature, state legislature, as well as in the parliament as well. But when there are the warring faction and the majority is highly contested, so in that time, the Election Commission of India can freeze both the original name of the political party and as well as the election symbol also. All right. So over here, the requirement for the faction is that they should register the temporary party names, and also they select the free symbol pool, the free symbol that is there in the list or that is provided by the Election Commission of India. So that is what happens when the party split, and that is what happens to the election symbol as well as the party name. Now, this is a complete timeline that you will see. In 1968, there was the order that was promulgated, that is symbols order to standardize the symbol allotment to the various political parties and to handle the rising party fragmentation as well. In 1972, there was Sadiq Ali case where the Supreme Court validated that the Election Commission, it will have the supreme authority as well as it will apply the three-test majority formula in the case of the split in the parties. Then in 1997, the Election Commission of India revised its rule, and there are splinter groups which cannot inherit the recognition automatically that was provided, and they must prove their poll performance. And later on in 2020s, the high-profile split we had seen, like for example, of the Shiv Sena or the NCP, that have highlighted the dominance of the test principle or the test of legislative majority in the Election Commission of India decisions. So that is how the election symbol is imparted in India. Now over here, this relates to the polity, it relates to the public, the governance system that we have, and also it relates to the public administration. Now, if you are looking for optional for your, upcoming examination for 2027, for 2028, or even for 2029, then you can enroll into the public administration batch on the platform of StudyIQ, and you can use the code BRS Live for the 50% discount, as well as you can enroll into the GS Foundation batch with the same code BRS Live. And these batches, they are basically based upon the SMART model, where you get the proper structured classes, mentorship, assessment, revision, and the tests as well. All right. Alternatively, you can call us on the number that is displayed at the bottom of the screen. That is 76400300. So that would be all in this video. Thank you very much, guys, for joining me over here on the platform of StudyIQ. I will see you in the next video. But till then, take care of yourself. Also, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel so that you do not miss any of the updates in the future. Thank you. Bye-bye. Take care and Jai Hind.